Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Trigkey G1 Green Mini PC. Now this retails for roughly $250 US, but at the time of this video it is on sale for right around $200. I will include a link in the description, and in full disclosure, this was sent over by the manufacturer for review purposes. With that out of the way, let's talk about what sort of specifications this incredibly small PC has. What you're going to be getting is an Intel Gemini Lake quad-core processor. It is the J4-125, complemented by 8 gigs of RAM. You also have a 256 gig NVMe SSD, you heard right, which is impressive for a tiny PC, no question about it. Dual-band Wi-Fi, Ethernet, essentially everything you could ask for in a miniature computer. It does have Windows 10 Pro out of the box, and if you want to upgrade to Windows 11, you can do so, but it will require a BIOS update per the manufacturer. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box. And I don't know about you, but I've always had an interest in small systems like this, essentially a NUC, if you will, and that's because they can serve a lot of different purposes. Now, for me personally, I would say something more along the lines of, you know, a home server or just something that's really low powered that you want to have for general use case scenarios. But another good thing you can do with it, as I struggle to pry this cardboard box open, is, you know, maybe your son or daughter, you want to give them an affordable system. This may fit the bill. So now that I've finally revealed the G1 Green, let's get the balance of the packaging out of the way, and I can already say this thing is adorable. So the first thing you get is, of course, a user manual, and we've got some accessories here. Let's take a look. And the I/O on this thing is pretty impressive because there are actually 2 HDMI ports that permit you to power 2 monitors, 4K at 60 frames, or excuse me, 60 Hertz. So that is already an ideal setup for a dual monitor display, setup. So a HDMI cable is included, the power adapter, and some mounting screws, it appears. Let's take a look at the Trigkey G1. Now, I can tell you it's a really cute little system, but one fan cools the entire unit. And as you can see right here at the front of the G1, we have a power button, a headphone, microphone, combo jack, a Type-C port, 2 USB 3.0 ports, of course, that are backwards compatible, what appears to be a LED for activity. Trying to discern what's written right there. I don't know if that'll come out in the video. And then ventilation essentially all around. But of course, right here at the back is where all of the action happens. Your DC port that you're going to be plugging this into. 2 HDMI outs, as I mentioned earlier, that both support 4K at 60 Hertz, which is impressive for such a tiny machine. And boy, is this thing tiny. And then you have, I already mentioned, dual band Wi-Fi, as well as 2 Ethernet ports, in addition to another 2 USB ports, which I believe these are USB 2.0. So fairly solid I/O for such a tiny thing, and that also happens to be so affordable. It feels like we've got a combination of plastic and aluminum here. The base seems to be metal, and then the enclosure, the surrounding enclosure, is a polycarbonate of some sort. We've also got Intel branding, which is kind of interesting considering this is such an affordable mini. And I think that in many ways, even though this is not a very beefy NUC in terms of overall performance, because we're working with that quad-core J4-125, it's still something that's going to be able to get the job done. So if you're looking at strictly productivity work, content consumption, home theater PC, this probably is going to be able to cut all of those tasks with ease. So it'll be interesting to test this out. It is definitely an interesting little piece of hardware. And again, there are a lot of practical use cases for this. It's just a matter of whether or not you think you have one of those uses. I definitely do, so I'll be putting it to work as soon as this video is over. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.